Bismillah Rahman Rahim. In our last class, we completed our analysis of consumer behavior by using utility approach or cardinal approach, and we analyzed the consumer behavior by explaining law of diminishing minor utility and law of equi-minor utility, and how demand curve slopes downward. That was the topic of the cardinal approach, and at the end I have also discussed some of the points why that utility theory approach is not adopted in the modern world, because utility cannot be measured in terms of numbers. This is the main objection on the utility theory. Later on, another approach was developed which is called ordinal approach. According to ordinal approach, we say utility cannot be measured in terms of numbers, but consumers can rank the goods according to their preferences. Suppose when we say fish gives more utility than chicken, so we can rank the two goods according to this way, that fish is giving us more satisfaction or utility than chicken, but we can't say how much utils are gained by the consumer by consuming fish. So we cannot measure in terms of utils how much satisfaction is achieved by the consumer. So how much satisfaction is there by consuming chicken. So we can rank the goods that consumer is preferring fish over chicken because it gives him or her more satisfaction or more utility. Okay, now the ordinal approach is having two tools to explain the consumer behavior or to analyze the consumer behavior. The first tool they adopted, that is the budget line, and second one will be the indifference curve. What it is? The indifference curve, which shows the consumer preferences, and we will be discussing or analyzing indifference curve in our next class. But right now I am selecting a topic of budget line for you people, how budget line will be used by this approach to analyze the consumer behavior. Okay, today I am going to say something about budget line. So budget line, budget means what? Budget line shows the consumer's affordability. It shows the consumer's affordability, to buy two goods, suppose X and Y, goods X and Y, within the given income, and the prices of X and Y, and the prices of the goods, prices of X and Y are the goods consumed. Okay, what consumer is doing? Consumer is taking his income in his pocket and goes to the market and he inquires what is the price of X and what is the price of Y. So prices are the market signals. They will tell the consumer his real income to buy both the commodities X and Y. So in real terms, if prices are increasing, so the real income of the consumer will decrease. Therefore, his real affordability will be affected due to changes in prices of the two goods. Okay, when his income level increases, his affordability will increase in nominal terms. His nominal income, that at given price level, when he is able to earn more income, he will be able to afford more units of X and Y. So basically, budget line is showing us the consumer's affordability to buy the two goods X and Y within the given income and the prices of the goods in the market in a given time period. So we say this is called the budget line of the consumer. Now, how to derive this budget line? I am going to draw it, and first of all, I will be making the budget equation. Okay. You will be able to understand the budget equation, and then you will be able to draw it yourself as well. Income is denoted by M. This is denoting as income of the consumer. So which is spent on two goods. One is commodity X. This is the price of X, and the quantity of X, which is consumed by the consumer. This is his expenditure on X. When his income is there, he is buying two goods. So this is his expenditure on commodity X, and this is the commodity Y he is buying. So this is his expenditure on Y. All right. So we say this is the budget equation, that all his income is equal to expenditure on X and commodity Y. So the sum of the expenditures on X and Y should equal to the income of the consumer. This is his budget equation. Okay. Now, first of all, we will be finding the different combinations of the two goods X and Y, which are equally affordable by the consumers. Now, first assume that if Y is 0, like consumer is not buying even a single unit of Y, then all his income will be spent on commodity X. Like if this part is 0, 0 units of Y are purchased. So when 0 is multiplied by the price of Y, so this whole part will become 0, and all his income will be spent on commodity X. So how much of X units will be purchased by consumer? This is M over price of X. Suppose income of the consumer is given to us $12 and price of X is given to us $2. So how much maximum of X could be purchased by the consumer? This is M over price of X. So M is given $12, whereas the price of X is $2. So the maximum of 6 units are purchased by the consumer. So this is called the horizontal intercept of budget line. This is called what? Horizontal intercept of the budget line. Suppose I say this is now X, quantity of X, this is 0, this is Y. If all his income is spent on X, this is the maximum unit of X consumer can buy. Suppose these are the 6 units. I write over here the 6. At price $2 of X and income given to the consumer, that is $12. So he is able to afford only 6 units of X, not more than 6 at this price level. Now come forward to buy the vertical intercept of the consumer's budget line. Now see over here, if he buys none of X, if quantity of X is 0, then all his income will be spent on commodity Y. So how much maximum of Y he is able to afford? This is M over price of Y. So if I say over here, his income is $12, he is having his income $12, but now price of Y which is available in the market, that is $1. So how many units of Y he can afford within given income? This is M over price of Y. M is $12 over $1. So we find maximum of 12 units he can afford within his given income. This is M over price of Y. This is the 12 units. So this is called what? The vertical intercept of the budget line. The vertical intercept of budget line. So these are the two intercepts. These are the two extreme conditions. Keep it in mind. When consumer spends all his income on X, the maximum of 6 units of X he can afford. And when he spends all his income on commodity Y, then maximum of 12 units will be purchased by him. If we join these 2 points, okay, we have joined these 2 points. So this line is telling us the consumer's budget line or affordability line of the consumer. This is a downward sloping straight line budget line. If you remember, in our cardinal approach, I have made a table of this one. When there are 6 units of X, 0 of Y was purchased. When he decreases X by 1 unit, he is able to afford 2 units of Y. When he decreases further 1 unit, he is able to buy 2 extra units of Y, and 3 and 6 and 2 and 8, and then 1 and 10 and 0 and 12. So all these points are lying along this budget line. They are equally affordable by the consumer within his income, and the prices of X, that is $2, that is the price of X, and here the price of Y is $1. So when at these prices he is going to spend his income, these are all the possible combinations of X and Y which are affordable by the consumer, and all these bundles are lying along this budget line. All right. So what happens when he gives up 1 unit of X, he buys 2 units of Y, because price of X is double than price of Y. So if I say this is downward sloping, so it is negatively sloped, what will be the slope of this budget line? Look here, this is change in Y, this is change in X. If we find the gradient or slope of this budget line, what will be the slope of this budget line? To see over here, rise over run. So slope of budget line is change in Y due to change in X. If consumer buys an extra unit of X, how many units of Y he has to give up? So this is negatively sloped. Divide M over price of Y divided by M over price of X. So this is the double division. I'm going to solve it for you. M over price of Y divided by M over price of X. If we put a multiplication sign, M over price of Y, this will be inverted now. Price of X over M. Now M is cancelled out. What will be the slope or gradient of this budget line? This is the price ratio which is coming to us. So if price of X is minus $2 and price of Y is $1, so the rate of change of the two goods will be -2. It means that when consumer wants to increase the consumption of X by 1 unit, he has to decrease the consumption of Y by 2 units. If X consumption is increasing, Y will be decreasing. That is why we say it is negatively sloped. If consumer increases X, he has to decrease Y. So as we see, the price of X is $2. So in order to buy 1 extra unit of X, he needs to have 2 extra dollars. And how these 2 extra dollars will be released? If he decreases 2 units of Y. So the rate of change of X with Y will be -2. So 2 units of Y will be given up every time to buy an extra unit of X. Or if we reverse it, like if I say, if consumer wants to increase Y, so it will be 1/2. Okay. If consumer wants to increase 1 extra unit of Y, how many units of X he has to sacrifice? Half of X unit will be given up to buy an extra unit of Y. So this is called the rate of change or slope of the budget line. So budget line is downward sloping. It is having negative slope. When one commodity is increasing in quantity, so other one will be decreasing, and that depends upon the relative price ratios of the two goods. Okay, look here. If you see very closely, you can also find another point in this budget line. Okay, this is written change in Y over change in X. And it is equal to minus price of X over price of Y. If you see, price of X is inversely related to the quantity of X. When price increases, quantity of X will decrease. And price of Y is also inversely related to the quantity of Y, which is a relationship of demand curve. That price and quantities, they are inversely related with each other. So we find over here that the slope is also telling us that price ratio is inversely related to the quantities of the two goods. All right, now I am going to change the slope first of all, that you should be able to know what happens when slope of the budget line is going to change. Okay, see over here, I say now prices of the price of X, income remains $12, but now price of X increases from $2 to $4. So price of X is doubled. So how much X he can now afford within the given income? Now his real income will decrease. Look here, this is $12. Now it is the $4 is the price. So the maximum of 3 units he can afford of X at this new price. Although his nominal income is $12, but due to increase in price of X, his real affordability, real income will decrease. Therefore, can I say this thing, X and Y, this is previous budget line where 6 units of X were there and 12 units of Y. Now, due to increase in price of X, what happens? Budget line will have pivotal inward shift or rotational shift. It will rotate inward due to increase in price. So previously when he was able to afford 6 units of X at $2, now as the price of X has increased to $4, so his real income has gone down. So he is able to afford only 3 within the given income. Now, the budget line of consumer will have inward rotation due to fall in price. You can say the slope of budget line, which we found previously, change in Y over change in X, that is minus price of X over price of Y. Now, price of X is $4 and price of Y is $1. Now, it has become more steeper than before. Okay, its slope has increased. Now it is -4. In order to increase 1 unit of X, now consumer has to give up 4 units of Y. Then he will be able to buy an extra unit of X. So when price of X increases, what happens? The budget line will rotate inward. Now if I say price of X goes down from $2 to $1, what happens? Now price of X decreases to $1. Now maximum of X, his real income will increase now, price of X, 12 over 1. So how much maximum he can afford? 12 units. Now budget line will rotate outward. Now previously he was having this 6 and 12. Now budget line, he will be able to afford more units of X. Okay. So when price of X falls, this is what when price of X increases, and this is what when price of X decreases. So budget line will have outward rotation due to fall in price of X, and when price of X increases, budget line will have inward rotation. That is about the changes in the price of X. When price increases, budget line will become steeper. from its horizontal axis, and when price decreases, it will become flatter, its slope will decrease, so it will become flatter. Now more X will be afforded by the consumer. Now come towards what happens when price of Y is going to increase. Now suppose price of Y increases to $2 from $1. So now how much maximum of Y he can afford? M over price of Y, $12 divided by $2. So it will be 6 now. Now it will have the pivotal shift from the vertical side from 12 to 6. So as price of Y is increasing, budget line will be having pivotal shift from the Y axis rather than from the X axis. So if price of Y decreases, to $0.50 from $1, so how much Y maximum he can afford? 12 over 0.5, this will be 24 now. So now budget line will have pivotal outward shift from the vertical axis. If I say this is 6, this is 12, now it will have this type of shift. Pivotal shift. Now it is going outward from the Y axis. Now price of Y has gone down. Okay. This is how when prices of X and Y, they are changing, there will be change in the slope of the budget line or gradient of the budget line. The rate of change of X and Y will be changing due to changes in the price of X and Y. Now, the changes in prices will change the real income. Although nominal income of consumer remains same, but due to changes in the prices of X and Y, there will be change in the real affordability of the consumers. When prices of X and Y decreases, real income of consumers will be increasing. And when prices of X and Y, they are increasing, when prices are increasing, real income will fall, and when prices fall, what happens? Real income of consumers, that will be increasing. Okay, now come towards another point of this budget line. Okay, what is that? If nominal income of consumer has increased or decreased, now we are going to change the income of the consumer. Like income increases to $24. Now his income has increased, keeping the prices of X and Y same one, that is $2, and prices of Y is now $1. So what happens? Due to increase in his real income, his budget line will have parallel outward shift. This was our previous budget line. Now due to increase in the prices, income of the consumer, it will become 12 and 24. So there will be a parallel outward shift without changing the gradient of the budget line. It will have parallel outward shift because now he is richer than before. He is owning more income. He is earning more income. Therefore, his affordability, both in nominal and real terms, prices haven't changed and his nominal income has increased. Therefore, he will be able to afford more of X and Y. So his budget line goes outward. Now, the last point about the fall in income of the consumer, what happens? So this is what, when income increases. So now if income falls, like his income goes to $6 instead of $12, so what happens? His nominal income has gone down. The budget line will have parallel inward shift. Okay. Now, when income falls, there will be parallel inward shift of the consumer's budget line, and when income increases, there will be parallel outward shift. He can afford more of both the goods X and Y when his income increases in nominal terms, and he can afford less of X and Y when his income decreases in nominal terms. Okay, sometimes it happens in our exam, we have another type of diagram, and they give us the MCQ question in the form of this. Okay, what is happening to the budget line X and Y? This is our original budget line. You can say this is JK. And when they give us another budget line, this is what? LM is the new budget line. They say, what is happening to the budget line? We say price of X has increased and income of consumer has increased because he is increasing the consumption of Y. So in a table they ask us, so we say if price of X is increasing, consumer is able to afford less of X, but why he is increasing the consumption of Y? This is the reason he is having increase in income. That is why he is buying more of X, more of Y. So this type of crossing budget lines we are finding in our MCQs, and that is our end of our budget line explanation. And by the next class, we will be doing the indifference curve to see where the consumer equilibrium lies. Budget line only tells us the affordability. It does not tell us anything about the consumer preferences or consumer choices. Where will be the consumer equilibrium? It only tells us all the bundles along this budget line, they are equally affordable. All right. So by the next class, we will be doing the indifference curve, and we will be seeing where the consumer will be in equilibrium to maximize his total satisfaction within income and the given prices of the two goods. And we will also be deriving the demand curve from this approach of a budget line and indifference curve. That's all for today. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. हाँ जी, कोई क्वेश्चनिंग में है?